Viewers. Thank you once again for joining us. My name is Mariambo, and just to give you a snippet of what is coming up in this particular bulletin this morning, and that is the DCI investigate the mysterious death inside Kenya's biggest referral hospital, and AUC race enters homestretch as the AUC chair aspirant, that is Raila Odinga, seeks divine intervention ahead of the continental vote in Addis Ababa, and diversifying Kenya's dietary options. Let me ask this question. Do you think you can eat a buffalo, Vivian and Mike?
Sorry?
Could you actually eat a buffalo?
Eat a buffalo?
Yes, yes.
Well,
you're being encouraged to diversify your dietary.
Your palate.
Yes.
I'm one person who's open to trying out, new cuisines, so definitely I would.
Okay.
Well, it's a buffalo is more like or less like a cow, so I wouldn't mind, but I'm not.
But this is a different type of buffalo, yeah. So I'll be bringing you the details of what kind of buffalo that is in this particular bulletin, so stay tuned. But let's begin with our first story there, where the Kenyatta National Hospital is assuring patients that security has been beefed up following the mysterious death of a patient on Friday. Now, the hospital's acting chief executive officer, Dr. William Sigelai, says the matter has been taken up by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. The incident has raised serious questions about the general safety of patients at Kenya's biggest referral hospital. I was there and I filed the following report. Questions abound about how a patient's throat was slit inside Kenya's largest hospital, despite the facility being under a 24-hour CCTV surveillance manned by over 380 security guards and housing a police post within its premises. On February 6, 2025, the lifeless body of Gilbert Kenywa was found in his hospital bed.
Mr. Kenywa was found with his face covered with a blood-stained sheet. Upon the nurse uncovering to check on him, the nurse discovered that this person was motionless with a deep cut on the frontal aspect of his neck.
The hospital says no suspect has been identified so far.
We actually do not have evidence that anybody walked in and committed a crime and committed the said crime. We know for a fact that the patient was murdered in the ward.
According to the hospital's acting CEO, Dr. William Sigelai, security measures have been enhanced in response to the crime.
We have engaged the National Police Service right now to also enhance their presence on the compound, and we are looking long term because this threat is very hard to predict.
This is the second murder in 10 years at the hospital, the first occurring in 2015. Gilbert Kenywa, a trader, was admitted to KNH on December 11, 2024, after being referred from St. Mary's Hospital with a neurological condition that left him paralyzed in all limbs.
His condition was particularly severe, affecting all his limbs, and therefore making movement difficult. He therefore required what we call total nursing care, which includes tube feeding.
The case is now under investigation by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the DCI, as they work to uncover the mystery behind his death. Although the management of the Kenyatta National Hospital has assured the patients and Kenyans at large of enhanced security in the hospital, the murder incident has raised more questions than answers. Mariambo reporting for KBC Channel 1. Well, we'll be following that story for you. Definitely a lot of questions being raised there. Now, ODM bigwigs held special prayers for their principal, Raila Odinga, wishing him victory in the forthcoming elections for Chairperson, Africa Union Commission. Led by ODM Chairperson Governor Gladys Wanga, the leaders expressed confidence that Raila Odinga will on Saturday win the elections to be held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The leaders have at the same time assured their supporters that Raila Odinga will not abandon local politics if elected as AUC chairperson.
With only 6 days to the elections of the chairperson of Africa Union Commission set to be held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, ODM leaders joined faithfuls at the New House of Grace Church in Kakamega to pray for their principal Raila Odinga.
Kwa niaba ya wanakakamega wote na viongozi wote ambao wamekuja hapa kwa maombi maalum ya kumwombea kinara wetu Baba Raila Amolo Odinga siku ya Super Saturday. Tarehe 15 mwezi huu itakuwa Super Saturday ambayo viongozi wote tutaelekea kule Addis kushuhudia uchaguzi na ushindi wa kinara wetu ambaye ni Raila Amolo Odinga.
Mungu atuonekanie as a people of this country and as a family of ODM for the struggle that we have had over the years. Because mahali ambayo tumefika, baba amemaliza kazi. Ametembea, amezungumza kila mahali, president amempeleka mahali mengine, amefanya yote. Sahi ndio tunasema be still and know that I am God. Sahi tunasema baba be still.
Wakristo wenzangu, mnajua wiki hii ambayo tunaanza ikifika Jumamosi kule Ethiopia watakuwa napiga kura ya kuchagua chairperson wa African Union Commission. Na mnaona mzee wetu Baba Raila Amolo Odinga ametembea Afrika mzima akiuliza kuungwa mkono. Kwa hivyo sisi tunamuombea kwa sababu tunajua baba ametosha.
The leaders expressing confidence that on Saturday, Raila Odinga will be honored by African presidents by being elected as AUC chairperson.
Na mimi nashukuru sana Apostle Daktari Ken Baraza vile umeombea kinara wetu, na wiki hii kuanzia siku ya leo hadi siku ya Jumamosi ni wiki ya baba. Viongozi wote tuombee kinara wetu kwa sababu we have always been almost there.
So maombi ambayo tumefanya leo kwa niaba ya party leader wetu baba, ambaye pia amepigania nchi sana kwa miaka mingi, na mimi nashukuru sana washirika kwa sababu tumemwombea pamoja kwamba ikifika Saturday.
The ODM top brass assuring their supporters Raila Odinga will still be present in the local politics even after winning the continental position.
Kini baba kwenda AU haimaanishi ametutoroka. Baba atakuwa AU na pia atakuwa anakuja hapa. Sababu kutoka AU kule Addis kufika Nairobi ni 1:30. Atakuwa anachapa kazi Jumatatu mpaka Friday, ikifika Joni anachukua ndege anakuja hapa. Weekend tuko na yeye hapa Kakamega tunapiga siasa.
Raila faces competition from Djibouti's Mohamed Yusuf and Richard Radiamandrato of Madagascar in the race to succeed Chad's Musa Faki. The winner will require the support of 2/3 of the 55 Africa Union member states, translating to 33 votes.
Now, Kenya Kwanza leaders have defended President William Ruto's proclamation to remove the vetting process for identity card applicants living in northeastern and other border counties. The leaders, including National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and President's Assistant Farouk Kibet, who spoke in Vihiga County, also wished Raila Odinga the best of luck in the elections of the African Union Commission chairmanship next week.
Leaders from the ruling Kenya Kwanza Alliance on Sunday were on a charm offensive in Vihiga County. The leaders asking the Western Kenya region to rally behind President William Ruto ahead of the 2027 polls.
Nyinyi watu ya Hamisi mnasema tutatembea na Wakenya wengine? Hivyo ndivyo ilivyo.
Hii kiti imeletwa karibu na sisi na iko hapa Sugoi. Kazi yetu sasa ni kuvuta kiti itoke Sugoi ifike hapa Western.
Led by the majority leader in the National Assembly, Kimani Ichung'wah, they backed the decision by the president to remove the requirement of vetting the persons living in border counties before they are issued with the national identification cards and passports.
Kwa nini mtoto Msomali pia akienda kupewa kitambulisho aambiwe akuje na wazee 20 wa kijiji yake, akuje na mama yake, baba yake, nyanya yake, babu yake, mashangazi na nani, na ni Mkenya, amezaliwa hapa Kenya.
Kenyans who deserve to be respected. Na tunasema wakipatiwa vitambulisho wafuate sheria ile ya Kenya ya kawaida ya kutoa stakabadhi, na chifu anatia sahihi, unapata kitambulisho na kusonga mbele.
It doesn't mean that it affects the stability and the security of this nation when those people are included in moving forward as a country. No one is advocating for any criminal to be served, but we are saying that all part of Kenya deserve to be served well.
Bungoma County Governor Ken Lusaka saying the decision will also benefit his residents who border Uganda, adding that they miss out on government services for lacking identification cards.
Sisi pia kama watu ya Western Kenya, we are going to be beneficiaries of that directive, kwa sababu natoka Bungoma, natoka Busia na kule hata upande wa Siaya kuna watu wengi ambao walikuwa waweze kupata vitambulisho, na unaona hao wamepaniki kwa sababu wanajua Northeastern ikipata vitambulisho, sisi pia Western tupate vitambulisho. I can assure you that Western Kenya tutakuwa namba 1 katika census ile inakuja, and numbers count.
Kupokea kile ambacho Mungu amekusudia.
Spoke in a separate event, want the vetting policy to be upheld for security reasons. The Kenya Kwanza leaders, however, steered clear of the ruling of the court that Azimio is the majority coalition in the National Assembly. This as ODM interim leader Nyang' Nyong'o said the ruling of the court must be respected.
The court has ruled that Azimio is the majority party. Ama sivyo? Sasa wewe ni nani? You are not a speaker. You are not an MP. And then you are doubting what the court has said.
The sentiment that were also shared by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka.
On Tuesday, mwende mukae mahali ya majority in the national. Walinyakua, yani wakafanya artificial majority, na wamepatikana kwanza mchana na mahakama.
So we continue where the late legendary broadcaster Leonard Mambo Mbotela will be buried on Saturday at Lang'ata Cemetery in Nairobi. A series of events will precede his interment, including a funeral service on Friday at the All Saints Cathedral in Nairobi. Meanwhile, did you know that Mambo performed at live bands going by the stage name Ibrahim Juma? Well, the golden voice we all enjoyed on the airwaves was also enjoyed by revelers at the Vibro Club in Nairobi, where he serenaded many. A patron, long-time friend and proprietor of Vibro Club, that is David Mokaya, says the club was like Mambo's second home. Kamcha Menza tells us more.
Leonard Mambo Mbotela.
While many Kenyans remember Leonard Mambo Mbotela's voice on the broadcast airwaves, few knew his other side. Mambo loved music and singing live on stage. This was his last live performance with the popular Maroon Commandos. This love was cultivated a long time ago and saw Leonard Mambo Mbotela become a regular face at the Vibro Club in Nairobi West, Nairobi County. At one time, it was run by 3 veteran broadcasters who also happened to be Mambo's former colleagues at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, namely Leonard Moshegwa, Tom Kazungu, and the late Victor Odak Omala. From as early as 1997, they would engage Mambo to sing in live bands. In 2009, when ownership changed hands, the new proprietor, David Mokaya, maintained the tradition.
A band would normally sing up to around 11, and they would take a break. A member would take the stage, and they normally would do 1.5 hours.
The renowned broadcaster remained a loyal client, so much so that he had a particular sitting space reserved for him when he visited on Fridays, Saturday and Sunday.
Those who knew about the club, they would always tell us in advance to ensure that Mambo is present. The memories I have, every other Sunday, if he was in town, we would sit in this cube and have fish. We actually used to talk about that. Sometimes I would ask him, Things like those, you know, would joke and things like that.
Because he was not your ordinary patron, his presence pulled crowds. Mokaya says on stage, Mambo was known as Ibrahim Juma.
And I remember when he was stronger, Mambo would not walk from the counter to the stage. He would literally run and take that step, jump onto the stage. Referees knew him by that name. Of course, they knew it was he. They knew it was Mambo. So every time they say Ibrahim Juma on stage, everybody would know it's him.
His charming personality made staff here and clients warm up to him.
Unajua Mambo alikuwa mteja wetu mzuri. Akikuja hapa alikuwa anatuhadithia kidogo, anatupatia mawaidha.
Whenever we heard that he's going to be on stage, it was an attraction of.
Most friends, including myself, will always want to offer him a drink. As we talk, Mambo has left some stock here, some beers.
Mokaya says news of Mambo's demise was a shock to them, and though his life is celebrated at Club Vibro, his presence will forever be missed.
To see if we can invite them to come and show 3-4 bands to come and perform on one day to remember him, and probably to see if we can raise something for our family. Because this was like his second home.
At the entrance, there is a special setup where Mambo's fans can pen their tributes. As candles glow, mourning a cherished and valued musical performer whose baritone voice and imposing presence may never be forgotten.
Indeed, we will forever cherish and celebrate Mambo Mbotelaa. She dedicated over 2 decades of her life to championing the rights and education of deaf children in Kenya, from a secretary's desk in Nairobi to the forefront of advocacy and institution building. Anne Bwore Oginga's journey with the Kenya Society for Deaf Children is a testament to the resilience, leadership, and unwavering commitment. My colleague Edward Kabasa caught up with Anne at her home in Ongeng village, that is in Homa Bay County, and filed the following report.
Anne Bwore Oginga's career began on May 16, 1979, when she joined the Kenya Society for Deaf Children as a secretary. It wasn't long before her dedication earned her a new role, executive officer of the society, a position she held from August 1980 until her voluntary retirement on December 31, 1999.
I got interested in seeing the deaf people, how they communicate. Then I got interested in working for the Kenya Society for Deaf Children.
Even in retirement, her passion for service remained strong, leading to a 1-year contract that saw her continue in the same role until December 2000.
I retired because I wanted to work for another organization that covered the whole Africa. But then I lost my dad, and I lost so many things happened to me, so I could not concentrate in doing that job.
During her tenure, Anne played a pivotal role in shaping the future of deaf education in Kenya. Under her leadership, the society expanded its impact. She spearheaded the establishment of 32 deaf institutions across the country, among them Kuja School for the Deaf, Nyangweso, Maseno, Kerugoya, Machakos, Kwale, Litein, and Muranga stand as lasting legacies of Anne's work.
So when the president saw what I have done, he said, Madam Oginga, I want a similar school in my constituency.
Beyond her administrative role, she has been an integral part of decision-making in deaf education, serving on the board of governors for 16 schools for the deaf.
Parents had many problems in communicating with even their children. even the schools that were existing, they had no how to handle these children.
While progress has been made, Anne believes that there is still work to be done. She is calling for increased government support, better facilities and policies to ensure that deaf children receive the quality education they deserve.
So that story by Edward Kabasa takes us to the sports news, where Vincent Ondabo scored twice in the second half to hand KCB 3 crucial points that keep them close to the FKF Premier League top 2. KCB defeated Morangasil 2-0 to move them to 32 points, 6 points behind leaders Kenya Police and Tusker FC, who sit first and second on 38 points each. Mara Sugar came from a goal down to thrash FC Talanta 4-1 in the second match played yesterday. Despite leading 1-0 at halftime, Talanta could not keep up with the waves of attacks from Mara Sugar in the second half, as they conceded 4 times to miss out on a 5th win of the season. It was the 7th win for Mara Sugar, who now have 25 points, having played 20 matches. No goals were witnessed in the game between Kakamega Homeboys versus Ulinzi Stars and FC Leopards against Kariobangi Sharks. Posta Rangers defeated Shabana FC 2-1.
Vincent Onjabu anawapa tabasamu tena na benki wa KCB.
That's where we bring the news to a close. Thank you so much, as always, for keeping us company. Remember, we'll be following up various news, stories for you today, including the Departmental Committee on Health to meet with the representatives from SHA to discuss delays and gaps in health in implementing the Social Health Insurance Fund. And also, as I already mentioned in the story earlier, ODM leader Raila Odinga will be heading to Ethiopia for the AUC chairmanship elections, and he faces 2 candidates, that is Mahmoud Ali Yusuf of Djibouti and Madagascar Richard Mandrato. So we wish him all the best in that, but we'll bring you all that, including other news from around the country. My name is Maria, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.